5-second board turns. Last couple of deep breaths. Gates drop now. Good jump from the 19 and the number 1, but also for 18 of Latta. But it's Sasha Kunin who holds that inside line. And he does come away with foxhole shot number 14 on that Red Bull KTM. De Wolf second, Everts to the outside, split by the Husqvarna, the triumph there of the 99 of Perez as he launches his way quickly into third. Everts fighting back immediately, pushes the Spaniard back into 4th place. Where is Langenfelder? There he is, just behind the Kawasaki of Valin. So Valin in 5th, 6th, Langenfelder around 7th. Yeah, Langenfelder in 6th position as he rounds out turn 5. There's the number 8 of Captain McClellan. Latta didn't get his good start. He's around about 9th, 10th place. But it's good. Oh, I tell you what, he rode his luck there through that right-hander, didn't he? Kunin leading the way. EMX 250 riders were transferring across that ridge to the inside here. Wonder if they'll pick up on that as the race goes on and everybody sorts themselves out. Two Nissan Husqvarna riders here going toe-to-toe. Through the waves, Sasha Kunin already trying to make a break for it at the head of the field. Behind him, Kai de Wolf, Liam Everts, Guillaume Perez, Mathis Valin. Well, Valin has been passed by Langenfelder. And Langenfelder moving up into 5th place. Knows he can't afford any kind of luxury for Kai de Wolf. Whereas Adamo, he's in 13th place. So far, the weekend going from bad to worse for the Italian. Perez alongside Everts. Will Everts strike back here at the end of the straight into turn 16? Not quite. Perez now up into 3rd place. Langenfelder is being retaken by Valin. Valin back into 5th. McClellan was 6th briefly, but Langenfelder has found his way back past the South African on the number 8. Just behind there, Jens Wolvor, BTS, KTM. A rare good start for the rider from the Netherlands this year. Valin looking to go around the outside, gets the power down earlier, gets the drive, is alongside Everts as they re-emerge over the city jump. Everts will go defensive to the inside. Valin lighting up the rear end through that left-hander. Can't get the traction that he needed in order to gain the ground. As Everts carves his way up the inside of Perez. He's going to try and squeeze him to the inside. Here he does. Everts back up into 3rd place. And Langenfelder back down the inside of Valin. Moves into 5th for the 2nd time this race. Valin going the long way around, wants that drive through the first couple of waves. Going to gain ground, but he's not going to make the pass stick. And as Langenfelder goes to the outside, Valin can't find a way through on the inside there, through turn 11 at the end of that wave section. Langenfelder looking more settled as he goes after Perez. The 27 here, the red plate holder, in that 5th position at the moment. Championship down to 3 points if you put the flag out now. That's how tight things are in MX2 in the early stages of this first MX2 race here in Turkey. Kunin leading, De Wolf 2nd, Everts 3rd, Perez 4th, Langenfelder in 5th. McClellan 6th, Valin 7th, Wolvor, Latta and Adamo now up into 10th place. Perez takes a look across, sees Langenfelder there. No allegiance from the Monster Energy Triumph rider on the number 99, the Spaniard. Just wants to get as good a result as possible, finish as best he can this weekend. Langenfelder can't afford to take any unnecessary risks. So it's got to be calculated. Any moves that he makes, can't afford to get into any kind of shenanigans either. Certainly not with anybody like Guillaume Perez, who we've seen has got pretty big elbows throughout the season. making it difficult for Langenfelder to even get close to him, to try and even execute a pass. But here comes Langenfelder, gets to the inside, he's going to get squeezed, almost caught the rear end there of Perez, and that would have ended in tears for the 27. These two already coming together in the qualifying race yesterday when Perez found his way past, he scrubbed past the German, who's in some kind of trouble there through that wave section off the side of the track. But when Perez scrubbed his way by Langenfelder in the qualifying race yesterday, clobbered the right side of the German's machine. Team Ducati looking on. Langenfelder 4 seconds behind Kai de Wolf. De Wolf's second, gaining ground as it stands right now on the championship leader. Is it even feasible to think we might see a new red plate holder by the time we head away from Turkey to China for the penultimate round? A lot riding on this Grand Prix. Pivotal, possibly, because here comes the number 8 of Camden McClellan. All over the back of the German Langenfelder now as Perez starts to put some distance between himself and the Red Bull KTM rider here. Sasha Kunin, fastest lap of the race again, 2 consecutive laps. Has 5.5 seconds between himself and Kai de Wolf. Everts, the Nissan teammate to the defending champion de Wolf on the number 1. He's third, about 2 seconds further back. Then we've got Perez, Langenfelder, McClellan, Ballant, Wolvort, Adamo, Latta. Take another look at the start. Over on the right-hand side, number 19. Sasha Kunin hanging off the back of that Red Bull KTM. Ballant tried to go in with him as well, but then he ran wide and lost a load of positions. Foxhole shot, number 14 for Kunin. Not a great start for Simon Langenfelder. Latta carves him up on the exit there. Latta then was right alongside de Wolf. Sorry, Langenfelder was alongside de Wolf on the exit of the turn. He got squeezed here, so it wasn't too bad, but he just lost a few positions in the next couple of corners. Sasha Kunin continues to lead the way. Still got a long way to go in this race as well. 22.5 minutes plus 2 laps. The number 19 definitely feeling it, feeling his flow here in Turkey. Everts, Perez, Langenfelder. Langenfelder having to try something else. Every time he gets close and thinks about going outside, Perez closes him off. Frustrated figure at the moment is Langenfelder, not able to advance forward like he wants to. Oh, testing the boundaries of the dirt there as well. Still parked in 5th, Adamo up to 8th. Meanwhile, he's found his way past Jens Wolvort. He's about 2 seconds behind Mattis Ballant. Then we've got McClellan and Langenfelder, so Adamo could even find his way onto the rear wheel of a very static Simon Langenfelder at the moment. Langenfelder looking to move down the inside, denied by the Spaniard. Perez still hanging on to 4th on the number 99. Camden McClellan looking interested as well as he tries to regenerate and go back after Langenfelder, who's still struggling to find a way past the 99 of Perez. Sasha Kunin, tell you what, he don't need to catch a flight to China. He's almost halfway there at the minute. 7 seconds clear of everybody else at the head of the field. Good speed at the end of the waves, only because he generates that speed around the turn at the end of the straight, as everybody else brakes to make the inside line. Don't forget, we're running at altitude here as well, 1,018 meters above sea level. Bikes not running as cleanly as they would otherwise, closer to sea level. So a lot of changes for the mechanics and the riders to go through throughout the course of the weekend to get them as running as optimally as possible. Brave to go around the outside there. Simon Langenfelder, no way through though. Perez in control of that fourth place, still. And despite Kai de Wolf sitting 7.5 seconds behind Sasha Kunin in second position, Langenfelder still 3 seconds behind de Wolf. So if he does clear Perez, what kind of pace does he have to try and latch onto the rear wheel of de Wolf and claim some much needed points in this championship chase? Just to gain ground, just to reopen up some of those points lost yesterday. And de Wolf, probably, the team talk was just finish ahead of Langenfelder and Adamo. That's all you need to do. Langenfelder first, Adamo second, just because it's Langenfelder who is leading the championship, the one you're closest to in that title fight. These two going bar to bar again. This time Langenfelder does sneak up the inside of Perez. No response from the Spanish rider, not yet anyway. Langenfelder into fourth place. Finally he has daylight in front of him. It's taken 5 laps to get there. But the next rider in his line of sight is Everts in third position. Watch this here. Looked across, wanted to go defensive. Langenfelder made sure he forced the issue this time around, and that's how he's got to be. A lot more forceful if he is to find his way past Everts and then de Wolf. Five laps complete then. Sasha Kunin 8 seconds clear of de Wolf. Everts third. Langenfelder now up in the fourth position. Perez under attack from his teammate Camden McClellan on the number 8 machine. McClellan in 6th. Then you got the flash of green in the background. Vallant, then Adamo, and nearly 2 seconds back. Lap time for Langenfelder. His best of the race was on lap 5, 1:56. The only other rider in the 56 territory was the race leader, Sasha Kunin. So maybe Langenfelder does have pace to go after the two Husqvarnas. The only 2 riders inside the top 10 in the 56 zone as well, Kunin and Langenfelder. Kai de Wolf riding a smart race, doesn't have to push any more than this at the moment. Possibly eyeing up race 2 as the bigger picture. Be consistent, get good starts, claim points, even if it's a point on your rival. It's job done. At the moment, he's sitting in a 22-point position. Langenfelder in 18 with that 4th place. We're down to 7 points as it stands right now, from 15 over the course of the weekend. Mistake from McClellan. Vallant goes by. Vallant up to 6th. Possible loss of concentration, possibly cross-rutted. We'll soon find out. Gets into that inside. Yeah, just off balance. And Vallant right there to pounce. Look how close Adamo is as well. 3's a crowd and all that. Much better, big push, that's the message to Kai de Wolf. So they're urging him on, telling him to move forward, better than everybody else. But we are getting to squeaky bum territory, aren't we, in this championship fight, as things tighten up. 15 points at the start of the weekend, 11 in it after the qualifying race. Seven as it stands right now, with de Wolf sitting there in 2nd, Langenfelder in 4th. Langenfelder less than a second behind Everts. There you see these two coming towards us now. That's the gap between Everts in 3rd, Langenfelder in 4th. And Langenfelder, crucially, can see de Wolf ahead of him as well. That's the rider he needs to pass to gain ground, to open up that gap. Everts was good in the qualifying race yesterday, just got caught on the final lap by Camden McClellan. Everts, a nervous look over the shoulder, sees the German there. Being a good wingman for his teammate at the moment, but how much more of this can he take? Langenfelder likes that speed around the outside. This time it pays off. Not quite. Everts still hanging on to third. Perez 2.5 seconds further back in 5th position. So even if there is a slight mistake here from Langenfelder, he's not going to get caught out and lose a position into the final turn, end of lap 7. Everts hanging on to third, but for how much longer? Back onto the start straight. Everts riding a very wide Nastan Husqvarna at the moment. Fight, use your legs, get up out the seat. That's the message to Liam Everts. Make the ride a little bit smoother. Langenfelder untidy through there, 3 jabs of the leg through turn 4. Andrea Adamo and Camden McClellan, end of the straight. Oh, a little bit of afters. Adamo forces his way down the inside into 7. Adamo now going after Valin. Bit of daylight. He's got 3 seconds to make up on the Frenchman. Nice line through there for Langenfelder, but he's going to be on the receiving end here if he's not careful. Has to go in wide, loses ground on the exit. Everts controlling that inside, and De Wolf just sneaking ahead, sneaking away from these two at the moment. Didn't work last time around. Langenfelder down the inside again. Doesn't work this time either. Thought about dropping into that inside rut. Going to go the long way around here as well as Everts cuts to the inside. Langenfelder does go through. Langenfelder up into third. After setting the fastest lap last time around, Langenfelder on the charge. Eight laps complete. Sascha Kühnen nearly 8 seconds clear of Kai De Wolf. He has 2 seconds over Simon Langenfelder. Langenfelder, a direct sighting now of De Wolf. The rider he needs to pass, just to give himself a little bit more clearance at the top of the championship table. This is Valerio Latta, Honda HRC, and Thibaut Beniston, Monster Energy Yamaha. These two 9th and 10th at the moment. Beniston going after the young Italian. See how gnarly the track is. These ruts drying out all the time. Then you get to the hard baked surfaces and edges and things like that. So much for the riders to think about. Then he goes to the inside and outside combination. Latta winning out on that battle for now. Maintains that 9th place. Beniston all over the back of the Italian once more. Through the waves, trying to generate as much speed as possible, pumping his way. It's a nice mid-line, that from Thibaut Beniston. Not as edgy, not as gnarly and nadgery. Then it comes undone in the next left for the Frenchman. Laps complete. These two still fighting over that 9th place. as they just turn out of that. It's only a simple little climb, but the back end doing all kinds of different shapes, where riders are getting on the gas in different positions, the ground breaking down. Valin all over the back of Perez now. This is the battle for 5th place. Frenchman, the MX250 winner here last year, on his way to the 250 title. Got to be careful here with Perez. Can't force the issue, not yet. Side by side as they hit the next jump though. Decides, you know what? I'll pull a fakie. Thought about going around the outside, and Perez, you can see the body language. Do I go left? Do I stay middle? Good ride this from Perez, from Valin in 6th. Langenfelder still 2 seconds behind Kai de Wolf, so that little bit of daylight, that direct line of sight to the defending champion, not doing Langenfelder any favours at the moment, because 56.9, 57.2 lap times for de Wolf and Langenfelder respectively that time around. They're working their way to the line now to complete lap 10 as we look at the 99 of Perez and the 317 of Valin on the factory Kawasaki. Keeping an eye on the timing screen, almost identical times for Sasha Kunin and Kai de Wolf. Gap 7.9 seconds. Look at the body language of Valin as he tries to stay low and chucks it in and around that finish line jump. Here's Adamo closing in on McClellan again. McClellan finding his way past Adamo though. Here's how. Outside, inside. McClellan back into 7th. Three laps after he was passed by the Italian. Oh, Valin testing the boundaries. A couple of stabs at the tear off there as well as he came into land. McClellan only 1.8 seconds behind, so he can't afford to get caught behind Guillaume Perez too much longer, because the cam man, Mackie, can be closing in on both of these two and may catch them both unawares as well. 7 minutes to go. Langenfelder 1.5 seconds behind de Wolf all of a sudden at the last split. And this is the battle for that championship lead. De Wolf, #1, ahead of the 27 here, Langenfelder. Langenfelder leading the championship. The gap 9 points as it stands at the moment. That's why it's crucial for Simon Langenfelder to find his way past de Wolf, who looks over his shoulder there. That's why it's imperative de Wolf does not let Langenfelder through. Eleven laps complete. De Wolf and Langenfelder separated this time around by 1 second. Langenfelder looking for new lines, nice and smooth on the exit over that crest, dropping into the final turn before re-emerging onto that start straight. Everts doing his best to keep Langenfelder honest as well, in the hope that it might help out his teammate. Everts with his best lap of the race this time around, 56.4, only 2/10 off of Langenfelder's best lap on lap 7, 4 laps ago. Here's Sasha Kunin. Oh, don't tell me. Oh, Sasha Kunin. Oh, through turn 3 at the end of the first sector. That was a big moment for the number 19, who's 7 seconds clear of de Wolf. Don't need any more of those, Sasha. Keep it on 2 wheels this weekend, please. Valin still sandwiched between the two Monster Energy triumphs. Perez in 5th, McClellan in 7th. Adamo still 2 seconds behind McClellan. And we've got a bit of an interesting fight going on here between these two. De Wolf has been caught by Langenfelder. Langenfelder tried to run around the outside, maybe thought better of it. Didn't want to feel the wrath of the elbow from de Wolf. He's going to go the long way round here. And he does. They had history in that corner, didn't they? Was it last year, the year before? Langenfelder absolutely launched De Wolf into next week. And I'm sure De Wolf was mindful last year of that incident. So game on between these two at the top of the championship. 12 laps in the books, nothing in it between De Wolf second, Langenfelder third. Great recovery this from Langenfelder. After a poor start, well, it wasn't a bad start, he just lost ground early on. But he finally gets onto the rear wheel of Kai De Wolf. And the German going after the Dutchman. 4 minutes to go. 3 laps passed like before. Well, is that a reminder as to how he passed him last year when he launched him over the wall of the track, or passed him like he did everybody else that he passed so far in the race? Who knows? As I sit here itching my beard. If I had one, of course. Like a detective. De Wolf knows he's got a race on, though. Neither of these two can make a mistake. Both want to beat the other one. Those championship points, absolutely crucial. This stage of the race, this stage of the championship. Langenfelder lunges down the inside and they both go down. Then obviously deal with that. But if you try to make the move and then you come off worse, then that's not what you want either, so. Always gets good speed down through the waves here, through this next turn. Gets close, but not able to make the move unless there's a mistake. As we saw, like Kevin McClellan earlier on in the race, when he lost a position to Verlant in that same corner here. Back marker in the line of sight for De Wolf. Langenfelder closes back in on him. We move into lap 14. 2:40 on the clock, plus 2 laps. Lap times around 1:58 for Kuhnen, 56, 57 to De Wolf and Langenfelder that time around. There's your race leader, top of your screen. Second and third here, re-emerging onto the start straight. And you got Verlant looking to go around the outside of Perez here. Perez still hanging on to 4th. As Verlant gets closer, he's holding a tighter line. Back onto the start straight here, but Perez making him work for it. First 5 riders separated by 16 seconds. An indication as to how the pace is on this track. Back marker holds his line, holds his nerve as Perez and Verlant go by. Probably thinking fishing was a better option. Since we're not near the coast here, maybe not the best idea, that back marker. The roost drying out as well, so every time they land off the jumps here, get on the gas, face full of dirt. You feel it. Verlant cutting to the inside, trying to stay a little tighter. Good traction in that corner at the moment. It'll dry out though, and then it'll become slick marbles before you know it. Thibaut Beneston from out of nowhere has just set the fastest time in sector 2 as he still tries to deal with Latter in 9th. Beneston 10, that gap now 4.5 seconds, so either Latter's worn him down or Beneston made a slight mistake and lost ground. Here comes Adamo again, this time all over the back of the 26 of Everts. Adamo in 8th place, Everts in 7th. The championship starting to slip away from the Italian this weekend in Turkey. ...14 laps complete. Right, Sascha Kuhnen's pace is starting to wane. He's in the 57s, De Wolf in the 56s, and that was an injection of pace from De Wolf, because all of a sudden he's 3 seconds clear of Langenfelder, who was the slowest of the top 3 that time around. Kuhnen now only 5 seconds clear of Kai De Wolf with 3 laps to go. much of this can Perez take? Caught by both Valin and McClellan. A three-way battle for fourth place. Everts about a second further back in seventh. There he is on the 26. Then Adamo starting to close in again as Valin takes another look down the inside. Can't afford to leave the door open when he makes a move on Perez, because lurking in the background, the number 8 of Camden McClellan, just here in sixth. Intensity of this race, and at altitude as well. Heart rates are a little bit higher, breath a little bit shorter, or a little bit shorter actually. Good drive here from McClellan, gets alongside Valin, tries to squeeze him to the inside, then he moves over to the outside, looking to generate, and he does stay ahead. Continues to split the two triumphs. Good thinking that from Valin, because he could have just decided, you know what, I'll hold my line. McClellan would have gone through, but he used that outside line of Langenfelder, had that forward momentum just to stay ahead of the number 8, who's coming back for more. Into the final 2 laps. Perez, Valin, McClellan, 4, 5 and 6. Perez goes defensive. Valin, high and wide, leaves the door open. McClellan didn't need a second invite, but Valin, smart line on the exit, takes that position right back, holds on to that 5th place. Looks like things are set at the head of the field. Sasha Coonan 6 seconds clear of De Wolf, who has 4 seconds now over Langenfelder. Langenfelder resigns to the fact that he might have to lose 2 points in race 1 to De Wolf. That gap is going to be 9 going into race 2 if that's the case. Will Valin go the long way round here? He double singles his way in, cuts back to the middle, drifts wide. Still no way through for a frustrated Frenchman. Vectra machinery in the first 10 positions here. KTM of Coonan, Husqvarna's De Wolf, Langenfelder, Perez. Both Triumphs are in there, the Kawasaki's in there, the Honda is in there, Yamaha is in there. Liking that outside line all of a sudden, isn't he? 317. Into the final lap. Sasha Coonan led every lap of the qualifying race, led all 16 laps so far in this first MX2 race. Apart from that one moment, been pretty much inch perfect. Able to get out of that line as well, just on a little bit flatter dirt. This was the corner he made that big mistake earlier on in the race. Look at this here. Everts has found his way past McClellan, whilst all of the shenanigans were going on ahead of him. Everts up into 6th place, McClellan down to 7th. Everts fancies his chances on both Valin and Perez here on this final lap. Valin this time, oh, very close, very tight. Through there, shows the rear wheel to Perez. He goes by, finally takes over that 4th place. Talk about having to put a shift in. You can almost see Perez losing 3 positions on this final lap to Valin, Everts, maybe even McClellan if he's not careful. Everts down the inside, lights up the back end. He may lose a position here to McClellan again. Wow, I tell you what, that was so close to going badly wrong for Everts.
On the 11.
Holds on to that 6th place somehow. Would have just had to roll off on the throttle to secure that But out of the final turn, Sasha Kunin winning race 1 here in fine style. What a race win that has been for him. His 3rd race win of the season. De Wolf 2nd. Langenfelder 3rd. De Wolf closing 2 more points on the championship leader. Valin 4. Everts 5. Ferrez 6. McClellan 7, Adamo 8, Latta 9. We wait for Thibaut Beneston to come through any moment now. Here he is in 10th place. 28 seconds separating the top 10 riders.